Hey guys, so I'm gonna start today's reading. I'm gonna pick a page from Jim Morrison's poetry book and see what pops out, see what poem is there, and winging it. The Anatomy of Rock, which I just watched Nina Simone's documentary movie, and it just reminded me of that song. I don't know what it's called. What's the matter with you, Rock? I've been watching all the music documentaries have really piqued my interest lately. Devil at the Crossroads, I watched that one as well. Break on through to the outside. Yeah, really interested in the musician's journey, and none of them are easy. Most of them get shafted. They all struggle with their talent, their gifts, and their experience of reality, and how they just don't fit in. I can relate, you know. It is that type of personality. Anyway, I will read Jim's poem. I don't think I know this one, but we'll see. The Anatomy of Rock, or the whole thing started with rock and roll, now it's out of control. The first electric wildness came over the people on Sweet Friday. Sweat was in the air, the channel beamed, token of power, incense brewed darkly. Who could tell then that here it would end? One school bus crashed with a train. This was the crossroads. Mercury strained. I couldn't get out of my seat. The road was littered with dead jitterbugs. Help, we'll be late for class. The secret flurry of rumour marched over the yard and pinned us unwittingly. Mount Fever, a girl stripped naked on the base of the flagpole. In the restrooms, all was cool and silent. With the salt green of latrines, blankets were needed. Ropes fluttered, smiles flattered and haunted. Lockers were pried open and secrets discovered. Sweet music, wild sounds in the night, angel siren voices, the baying of great hounds, cars screaming through gears, and shrieks on the wild road where the tires skid and slide into dangerous curves. Favourite corners, cheerleaders raped in summer, buildings holding hands and bopping towards Sunday. Those lean, sweet, desperate hours. Time searched the hallways for a mind. Hands kept time. The climate altered like a visible dance. Nighttime women, wondrous sacraments of doubt, sprang sullen in bursts of fear and guilt. In the womb's pit hole below, the belt of the beast. Yeah, I think that in Jim's special way, it's pretty much describing that musician's journey, the crossroads, the wild, the freeness, but it aggravates society, that wild freeness, and it is so contrasting to the shit things that happen in society, like, and so many of these documentaries, like the musician stories, which I've recently kind of watched, it really shows that, like, the insane camaraderie and the beauty of music and poetry, and exploring new genres and like discovering new paths in music and bringing people together and everything. It opens so much, like in the, you know, Summer of Love, like with Jim, like in the 60s, and that, like, the free spirit, but at the same time, sorry, I lost my train of thought then, but, and I guess further back, like with the Devil at the Crossroads documentary, that was a bit further back, and the blues, there's some other blues documentaries that I've watched as well. There's more of the 50s where like Black America, where there was still a lot of, I mean, there still is today, let's face it, but even further back, was it like the 30s or the 40s when the blues first started, you know, coming to life in the cotton fields and, you know, deep south, and the struggles that they had to deal with then, to break out of that. And these musicians still struggled with that in their lives, and yet they were developing this beautiful music that affected so many people from that. Like, out of the mud comes, you know, the lotus. But it's like, you look into any of these artist stories and they're all still dragging the mud with them. And like, isn't it time we let go of the mud? Because even, you know, even today, there's still too much black mud flying around when we have the capability of really pulling people together and everything, especially music. I mean, music makes the world go round. We are music. The world is music. We are frequency. And we've all got to let the mud go. But anyway, like, these are the artists that really lived in the muck and came out of it and brought beautiful things with them. And that is the miracle of these artists. You know, even to current times, Michael Jackson, you know, did amazing things. Tina Turner, Elvis, there's so many. It's like countless artists that have broken barriers in their own, like, genre and stuff. Like Nina Simone, like, she was, you know, a classically trained pianist who, because she was black, wasn't allowed to go down that arena, so started playing the blues, and then got so pissed off with you know, the whole black-white racism thing, that her art form was started to be expressed in as a fight the system type thing. which is a lot of Jim's poetry is very similar. He is the fool. He is. That's why I feel like even him talking about Crossroads and Mercury, like he has been touched by Thoth himself. Like jitterbugs sitting beside him. Like a lot of his poetry goes dark. Like he's talking about cheerleaders being raped, but I mean this is the thing, and this is what the fool does. This is what the bards do. They confront society, so society can look at themselves. They're the mirror, like the authentic truth mirror. And they do it in a way like, I mean, he's a sexy ass lead singer of The Doors in leather pants, which the girls are going nuts for, and the guys want to be, and disrupting the system of society, challenging the laws and everything like this. And he's, with his lyrics, he's confronting every area of society to get people to look at it, to not hide, to deal with their mud, like to get everyone, and we're still doing it today. I mean, this is what I'm doing, to get people to look at their mud and start filtering it so we can get rid of it finally. It's like, why are we still dealing with the same fucking mud that has been around for forever? Yeah. Mercury strained. But, and music has been doing this so beautifully and sneakily. The full musician, the full poet, the challenging and breaking boundaries. Musicians are the best mud filterers, the best mirrors of toxic shit. If it wasn't for all these musicians, ask yourself, where would we be? Because they are the ones that change society. The artists, the creatives, the ones that push through for the love of music, and to say, fuck fear, I will stand in my truth and I will speak my mind, and if I go down in a ball of flames, so be it, because this is fucked and we need to get rid of the mud, and I'm going to do it my way, just like Frank Sinatra sings it, and so much of the bluesy music is like that. And a lot of the other music and lyrics, there is a lot of like Freddie Mercury, for example. I heard a little interview with him not long ago, and he was like, I'm just all about love. I love love, and all my songs I just want people to take a look at how amazing love is, like to get people to see that side of things more. And it's such a beautiful gift to give to people, to that's a beautiful mirror. Yeah, Freddie Mercury was a great one. Alright, should we get I just looked at the next page. It's Celebration of the Lizard. Celebration of the Dragon. Celebration of the Dragon heart. We need to let go of the lizard brain. So I've just opened to another page, and this is the Crossroads. So we'll read this one. Anyway, the Crossroads, a place where ghosts reside to whisper into the ear of travellers and interest them in their fate. The hitchhiker drinks. I call again on the dark, hidden gods of the blood. Why do you call us? You know our price, it never changes. Death of you will give you life and free you from vile fate. But it is getting late. If I could see you again and talk with you and walk a short while in your company and drink the heady brew of your conversation, to rescue a soul already ruined, to achieve respite, to plunder green gold on a pirate raid and bring it to camp for the glory of old. As the Cape's man faces poisoned horns and drinks red victory, the soldier too with his trophy and pierced helmet, and the ledge walker shuddering his way into inward grace. Laughter, well then, would you mock yourself? No, soon our voices must become as one, or one must leave. Yeah, unity. See, so like Jim's poetry is like kind of all over the show, but it's like paints a picture. It's the American prayer, yeah. We of the purple glove, we of the starling flight and velvet hour, we of Arabic pleasures breed, we of sundome and the night. Give us a creed to believe, a night of lust, give us trust in the night. Give of colour 100 hues, a rich Mandela for me and you. And for your silky pillowed house ahead, wisdom and a bed. Troubled decree, resident mockery has claimed thee. We used to believe in the good old days, we still receive in little ways. The things of kindness, an unsporting brow, forget and allow. Did you know freedom exists in a school book? Did you know madmen are running our prison? Within a jail, within a jail, within a white free Protestant maelstrom. We're perched headlong on the edge of boredom, we're reaching for death on the end of candle, we're trying for something that's already found us. We can invent kingdoms of our own, grand purple thrones, those chairs of lust and love we must in beds of rust. Steel doors lock in prisoners' screams, and music. AM rocks their dreams. No black men's pride to hoist the beams, while mocking angels sift what seems. To be a collage of magazine dust, scratched on foreheads of walls of trust. This is just jail for those who must get up in the morning and fight for such unusable standards, while weeping maidens show off penury and pout ravings for a mad staff. Wow, I'm sick of doubt. Live in the light of certain south. Cruel bindings, the servants have the power. Dogmen and their mean women pulling poor blankets over our sailors. And where were you in our lean hour? Milking your mustache or grinding a flour. I'm sick of dour faces staring at me from the TV tower. I want roses in my garden bower. Dig. Royal babies, rubies, must now replace aborted strangers in the mud. These mutants, blood meal for the plants that ploughed. They are waiting to take us into the severed garden. Do you know how pale and wanton, thrillful comes death on a strange hour, unannounced, unplanned for, like a scaring, over-friendly guest. Scaring, over-friendly guest you've brought to bed. Death makes angels of us all and gives us wings where we had shoulders smooth as raven's claws. No more money, no more fancy dress. This other kingdom seems by far the best, until its other jaw reveals incest and loose obedience to a vegetable law. I will not go, prefer a feast of friends to the giant family. Great screaming Christ, upsy daisy, lazy Mary, will you get up upon a Sunday morning? The program for this evening is not new. You have seen this entertainment through and through. You've seen your birth, your life and death. You might recall all of the rest. Did you have a good world when you died? Enough to base a movie on? An iron shackle wrapped our minds like a fist. I'm getting out of here. Where are you going? To the other side of morning. Please don't chase the clouds, pagodas, temples. It's all right, all your friends are here. When can I meet them? After you've eaten. I'm not hungry. Oh, we meant beaten. Here come the comedians. Look at them smile, watch them dance an Indian mile. Look at them gesture, how aplomb, so to gesture everyone. Words dissemble, words be quick, words resemble walking sticks. Plant them, they will grow, watch them waver so. I'll always be a word man, better than a bird man, but I'll charge, won't get away without lodging $1. Shall I say it again aloud? You get the point, no food without fuel's gain. I'll be the Irish loud, unleashed my beak at peak of powers. Oh girl, unleash your worried comb, oh worried mind. Sin in the fallen, backwards by the blind. She smells debt on my new collar. Arrogant prose tied in a network of fast quest, hence the obsession. It's quick to admit, fast borrowed rhythm. Woman came between them. Women of the world unite, make the world safe for a scandalous life. Hee hee, cut your throat, life is a joke. Your wife's in a moat, the same boat, here comes the goat. Blood, 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 they're making a joke of our universe. Matchbox, are you more real than me? I'll burn you and set you free. Wept bitter tears, excessive courtesy, I won't forget. Hot, sick lava flowed up, rustling and bubbling. The idiot took his mind off his flowers, calling Robin's doe, neat marshal of enterprise. Thoughts fall diamond, you wouldn't know class if it fell on your ass. Indeed, motel, swimming pool, ass high and junk, the paper face, mirror mask, I love you mirror, Venetian blinds, Mediterranean, trout fishing, what's for lunch, index of pool. Anyway, it always, like, I don't really bother trying to understand what he writes, but I try and I kind of can grasp the vibe of, like, what's going on in his mind to write those things. I feel like half of it is prophetic, half of it is like akashic. And 3 halves. And another half is his mind rambling on what's going on, you know, around him. The mind flow, which that's what my poetry does. So I can kind of understand what is going on there, but, like, there's bits and pieces with all it, you might you might think that none of it makes sense, but there are little bits and pieces within Jem's poetry that is like akashic and prophetic, and the rest is kind of like that mirror, that full mirror of society, to really just freaking mix things up a bit. So this is one of his quotes in here. If you run into some good luck and you get some money, then I think you should just keep pouring it back into creative ventures. Don't go out and buy a bunch of diamond rings and stuff. Pour it back into creative ventures. More people should do that. There should be more support for creative ventures too, and creative individuals. Here's one. Blessings. Accept this ancient wisdom which has travelled far to greet us from the east with the sun. Call out to him from the mountain high, from high towers, as the mind rebels and wends its way to freedom. Grant us one more day and hour, the hero of this dream who heals and guides us. Forgive me, blacks, you who unite, as I fear and gently fall on darkness. In that year we had a great visitation of energy, a vast radiant beach and a cool jeweled moon. Couples naked raced down by its quiet side, and we laughed like soft mad children, smug in the woolly cotton brains of infancy. The music and voices are all around us. Choose, they croon, the ancient ones. The time has come again. Choose now, they croon, beneath the moon, beside an ancient lake. Enter again the sweet forest, enter the hot dream. Come with us. Everything is broken up and dances. I love that one. That one is like, it's just so clear that, like, he's tapped in. He's tapped in. I mean, how many years ago was this? And literally how many fucking years ago? It was 60 years ago. 50 years ago. 50 odd years ago that he's writing this, and this is what's like happening. This is what's happening today. This is what the spiritual people are saying today. This is what I'm saying today with the messages I'm getting. Enter again the sweet forest. Remember the dream. O great creator of being, grant us one more hour to perform our art and perfect our lives. We need great golden copulations. Celebrate symbols from deep elder forests. That's like the Ogham script. Let's reinvent the gods, all the myths of the ages. Have you forgotten the keys to the kingdom? Do you know the warm progress under the stars? We live, we die, death not ends it. Here's a good one. Music inflames temperament. When the true king's murderers are allowed to roam free, 1,000 magicians arise in the land. We of the purple glove. We of the starling flight and the velvet hour. We of the Arabic pleasures breed. Like, he's tapping into his Akashic records. Give us a creed, give us a colour. Like, I mean, he's talking about like the Paladorian Covenant and freaking the Emerald Order or things like that. Like, he's tapping into his true soul knowledge, and it comes out in his poetry, and this is it's amazing. And yet at the same time, it's so kind of disturbing that, I mean, you can't say that he didn't complete his mission, because shit, you know, he was a wild one, the Lizard King. He broke down barriers, and he put a lot of freaking that stuff out there, and so many musicians do. But, you know, because of his personality and his tapped-inness and him being able to see through everything in society, living in that society is torture. And that's why so many of the sensitive musicians, creatives, have a really hard journey and normally leave pretty quickly, and normally have a lot of vices in order to smooth the edges, the jagged edges of this world that we are living in. This one's on the back, the American Night. Last words. Out hiss. Tell them you came and saw and looked into my eyes and saw the shadow of the guard receding. Thoughts in time and out of season. The hitchhiker stood by the side of the road and levelled his thumb in the calm calculus of reason. His thoughts in time, out of season. A calm calculus of reason. Like he didn't belong to that time and he knew it, but I think he also knew the reason for him being there in that time. But it doesn't make the experience any easier. And it's extremely isolating and lonely. And I think a lot of people like Jim, Elvis, Michael Jackson, they are like time travelers. They are most definitely starseeds sent from somewhere vastly different, and here to share and help the system, the society in their own way. But they have to go through hell at the same time in order to do it. And I'm sure all starseeds really trying to make an effort and everything can relate. Or any starseeds, any creative, anyone that feels out of place, Jim has been there for me since I was like 16. So that's how long I've known. And his music and lyrics were and have always been, I'm going to get really emotional now, like a very big warm hug of home type thing, like a fellow soul that I can relate to, because there's not many that I've met, like none, one, two, there's just, I don't see any in my, reality, that the same kind of vibe, to feel that different to your surroundings for so long and all that. I've always been extremely grateful for finding the Doors music and Jim Morrison at 16, and whenever and it still works for me today. It's one of those, it smooths the rough edges, and what is it? It's like a shoulder. It's like a you're not alone type thing. And it's really, that kind of thing is really important when nothing else on this planet gives you that. It's so important to find something, and with creators and neurodivergence, like music does it for people. Music helps people so much to connect with themselves, and if they find their soul band or whatever, it is a reprieve. It is a place to go, which has feeling. It is there's so much depth to it and so much feeling in it. It is like having a family. It's like having a loving family that's always there, or, you know, a best friend that is always there. It's this, it is larger than life. It literally transports you to a different space where your consciousness or your being can calm and be set free at the same time, and relax and get advice and to bond through time and space. Like, yeah. Isis Oracle standing out. Yeah, actually, I was just gonna say, like, these stories kind of do the same thing as well. If you connect with the written word, or maybe it's the written word or story, it's a place where your consciousness can go. Like, our consciousness, if it finds this a like vibe, and sometimes we find it in a story, a myth, one of the goddesses or gods, a past time, a future time, Star Trek, for example, music, if our consciousness like links with the vibe of it, it is like we're literal time travelers, like transported. It is kind of this like backdoor kind of so I was kind of just getting with, when I saw Isis, that it's kind of the same. People kind of feel the same about these kind of stories, the links. Some people feel it with music, some people feel it with whether you say angels, ancestors, guides, stories, star family. I feel it with the star family. I feel Jim is a part of my star family. I get that, that's what's going on there, but music is a really great example of how our consciousness can literally transport us elsewhere. And our voice. So it's not the voice, it's the sound, it's the frequency. Connecting our frequency with that frequency. But it doesn't have to be sound, it can be thought frequency, feeling frequency. There's so many different frequencies we can literally consciously, our conscious can connect with, bond with, transport us. And that's really interesting. Spirit of Isis, triumph of the goddess. The triumph of Isis. Spirit of Isis. The Divine Feminine, Divine Mother, Divine Partner, Divine Daughter. Past life, present power. The many spiritual faces of you. It's the Hourglass. Queen Cobra. Past life, present power. The many spiritual faces of you. And this is the thing. It's not just past life. It's all live. If you can imagine it, you can bring that into you, and then that's quantum. Let's say quantum life, quantum living, present power. Divine Sunchild, blessings of the Sun Falcon. It's like in one of my poems, like the falcon, like it's good luck if a falcon shits on you. You know, when a bird shits on you, but if it's a falcon, blessing. It's a blessing of the falcon himself. Priestess of the Phoenix, a life restored. Goddess of the 10,000 names, yes, Isis, endless emanations of the priestess. And this is the thing. You start looking into all the gods and goddesses. There's 1,000,000 names, and it's all a representation. Nearly every single one of them is it's the same. It's the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It is the divine embodied, either feminine or masculine. And yeah, God of 10,000 names, Goddess of 10,000 names. There literally is so many names. And the name of the game, we are all capable of embodying that energy and adding our name to the list. To embody a full soul essence and self-sovereign in self-sovereignty and living as from your soul mind. And that's where you bring the power of your quantum self into this body. And that is when you get, your Godhead gets activated. It's your self-sovereignty. I will leave it there for tonight. I think getting a little bit airy-fairy. Jim does that to me. Let's get one of my little pictures. And we got Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve coming through, disregard the story in the Bible, but the vibe of Adam and Eve is divine feminine, divine masculine, or it should be. It was being twisted, but divine feminine, divine masculine, in their raw purity, God, goddess, and within the individual, masculine, feminine, combined. X marks the spot. Adam's apple there. X marks the spot of a balanced person, right, left, feminine, masculine. To reach your Godhead, you must balance your forces, because they are both sides of your being, creative and logic, masculine, feminine, electric, magnetic. Combined, create your, or give you access to your Godhead. Power of the rising rose, dragon hearts, the wilderness people, the wild ones. Isis, Osiris. And the yin yang mixed, and the rose, dragons. This is very much like kind of ley line, dragon song lines. Isn't it funny that they call, you know, the energetic ley lines around the earth, they call them song lines, because they sing, they move, they are vibrations, they are frequencies, just like we are, just like we're singing our song, the earth sings her song. The currents run through us as they do earth, her. And white buffalo woman, calf woman is coming through big time. So is you know, Ferdinand. Stop and smell the roses. You know, just put these two, white buffalo and the black bull, Ferdinand. Smell the roses and protect the feminine. Fight for the feminine. Smell the rose. Like, there's so much wisdom. There's so much wisdom in these stories. And it's all coming down to us again. Extremely strong, very strongly, to remind us that we are all queens and kings, we are all gods and goddesses. Remember your inner power. It's not easy to be the mirror for society, like, you know, that to be the authentic voice or the authentic mirror, you know, creating your own path. That's not easy. That's not an easy road. Like I was saying, with all the musicians and everything, it's not an easy road. All the gods and goddesses had to, Hercules and his 12 labours, Osiris gets ripped apart, you know, into 14 pieces. There's all these stories. Everyone has to go through the tough shit to get rid of the mud, to bloom as the lotus, to get in touch with their, you know, Godhead, to become fully embodied, to become self-sovereign, to feel the full power. And you can do it. You can do it. It's not the easy road. It's not seeking more comfort that's going to get you there. It's not it's doing what you truly want to do will get you there. It's you being the true version of you that gets you there. Letting go of the fear, letting go of the mud and this shit that, you know, yeah. I will leave it there.